Okay. All right, we're gonna start now because I started the recording. All right, so welcome guys to Intro to Latin. Yes, you did use that word, right? Good job. It is salve. Means hello in Latin. Very good.
Wait, I'm gonna
All right. All right. Okay, we're gonna begin. All right, salve. Very good. That does mean hello in Latin. So welcome to Intro to Latin. Has anyone learned Latin here before?
I've learned in English. My mom says that there are a lot of Latin prefixes in English, so I guess I have.
Yes, you're very right. Very good. So yeah, English and Latin are quite similar. So it's not that difficult, hopefully. All right. So
yeah, so first with a little introduction about ourselves. My name is Joyce, and the first bullet is just my email. So if you have like any questions or something you want to say, you can email me there. I will be a senior at Tuscarora High School. And at my school, I completed every Latin class they offer, which is Latin 1, 2, 3, 4, and then advanced studies. And things I like to do are painting, swimming, and listening to
okay. My name is Jiayi. I'm going to be a senior next year at Urbana High School. And I've been learning Latin since middle school. And I'm currently learning IB Latin, if any of you guys know what IB is. And to swim, bake, hang out with my cat, to draw, like to read, things like that. This is just so you guys kind of get to know us. So you're not completely, so I hope that everyone can just be comfortable. And then you guys will be comfortable to ask questions because next class, we're going to do a lot of participation, hopefully. And hopefully people can participate because that way you guys can get more familiar with Latin. Yes, I do have a cat. She's not allowed in my room though because she'll distract me. So next we're going to show you. So next we want to know something about you guys. So do you guys want to type it in the chat?
Or you can share. Like we would love for you to share.
Yeah, if you want to talk, go ahead. Yes, you can talk. If I unmuted you, you can talk. Everyone.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So my name is Emily. I am 9 years old. And an interesting fact about me is that I'm actually really tiny for my age. I'm 4'2".
Oh.
Everyone is so much taller than me when they're like maybe a year younger than me.
Wow. Yeah, you're 9. Yeah, you are pretty small for age. Cool. All right, anyone else? All right, if I unmuted you, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Amy Lou, and my teachers call me Amy Lou Who for some reason, and I don't like that name. And I'm at August 3rd, I'm going to be 9 years old, although I wanted my birthday to be every single day so I can have cake every single day. And an interesting fact about myself is I actually know a few people here, Zima, Emily, and Alvin.
Oh, very nice. That's very good. All right, everyone will be able to share, don't worry. All right, if I unmuted you, you can go ahead.
My name is Zemo, and I'm 8 years old. And an interesting fact about me is that I just started learning synchronized swimming.
Oh, that's very cool. How's it going?
All right. Just use the raise hand emoji, and then okay, if I unmuted you, you can share.
My name is Alvin. I turned 10 April 15th, and I have a few hobbies. I like to play cello and basketball, and sometimes I do swim, even though it's not my main hobby. And an interesting fact about me is I like to annoy my friends.
Oh, very nice. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If I unmuted you, you can share.
My name is Jonathan, and I'm 13 years old. An interesting fact is like I like playing tennis and playing piano.
Oh, very nice. It's very cool. I like to play piano too. All right. Okay, give me a second. All right. I unmuted you, go ahead.
My name is Alice. I
nice. Thank you for sharing. I think you're our youngest one here. All right. Anyone else want to go? Do you see any more hand raised?
I think some people typed in the chat.
All right. And also, if you typed in the chat, I see it. Thank you guys. All right. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Just a heads up. You don't have to. We just want to get to know you guys. All right. Does anyone else want to share? I'm sorry. It's a little hard to see everyone. So if I miss you, please just type in the chat. All right. Very nice. I don't really like cheese, but okay. All right. Joyce, do you want to tell us your name and age and an interesting fact about you?
My name is Joyce. I'm 17 and I didn't plan this before, so I'm trying to think of something to say. An interesting fact about me is I have an older brother.
Yeah, he goes to Princeton. Very cool, huh? He's Ryan. All right. My name is Jiayi. I am 17, and I guess an interesting fact is I have a cat. It's not really that interesting. Dana, all right. All right. Are we good? Can we move on? Does anyone else want to share? Just raise your hand or type in the chat if you do. All right. We're going to move on now.
You like swimming? That's really cool.
Ah, so many swimmers here. Very nice. Okay. All right, so here is like the class information. I hope, is
You
everyone?
have Discord? Can I have the link?
Yes, the link was.
I have Discord.
You have Discord? All right, yeah, we do have a class Discord. And if you want to talk on it like during class, well, hopefully not during class, but like after class, you can go ahead. So
Like, can you copy and paste the link?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
have to change my nickname because usually I use Discord with like online friends, like group chats.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have a bunch of crazy names. I'll have to change my user in there.
Okay.
So we're going to share these slides on Google Classroom, so then you can click the link in there if you don't want to do it right now.
Okay, Joyce, can you copy and do you have the link? Okay, I'm just like typing it. Hopefully that's correct. Oops, sorry. I just typed it to one person. Let me share it with everyone. Okay, it's in the chat. Hopefully that works.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
Here
think
is
it'll work.
Discord. If you guys can see my screen right now, here is our class Discord. I feel like some of you guys might be in it already. Yeah. Here's our class Discord. You guys can talk in it if you have any questions or outside of class. If you have any questions like outside of class about the homework or anything like that, you can feel free to type in it. Is everyone in our Google Classroom?
If you haven't joined again, it's fine.
Here's our Google Classroom. I mean, I see a lot of you guys. I see a lot of people in it. So I'm guessing most of you guys are in it.
Okay, I'm in it.
You're in it? All right. Yeah. There's a Zoom username and password. So if you like need it, it's there. But you guys should know what it is. I'll put the Google Classroom code in the chat as well. There we go. So that's our Discord and that's our Google Classroom. So just you guys, you don't have to join it, but it would be good if you guys do.
I joined it.
You joined it? All right. All right. So hope everyone has it. It's in the chat if you need it, and I'm going to continue on. Okay, so this is like our class overview. Joyce, did you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do new vocab every week. So we're gonna learn about 5-ish words every single week. So hopefully they're all not that difficult. So hopefully you guys remember it. All right. So this way at the end of class, you'll have over 30 new words that you know in Latin. That fun? All right. And then we're also gonna do Latin grammar. So we're gonna do declining and conjugating. And we're gonna tell you what that means later on. We're also going to do, yes, Alvin, you have a question?
I just wanted to say when I click on the link to the Discord, it says welcome to hashtag pre-algebra.
Pre-algebra.
Same. When I clicked on it, it brought me to pre-algebra.
Algebra. Joyce, did you put the right link?
No, I think it brought me to the actual Discord server.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, let me see. Yeah, I think it's I think there are a bunch of it's like pre-algebra, Latin, intermediate, contest, math, announcements, and stuff like that. The different channels.
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
think
have to switch between them.
So it should just be on the left side. You see.
yeah, because can you guys see my screen? So do you see classes?
Yeah.
Latin should be in here.
Can I change my name to something
Okay,
fun?
you know what? I think here, wait. Let me copy a new link because I feel like that link might be wrong. Let me copy. I feel like this is the right link. Give me a second. Yeah, I think this is the right link for sure. Okay. I feel like that was just the normal. This should bring you.
Yeah, the one I put should invite you to the whole server.
Also, it says that the Discord link like expires. So click on the new link. I feel like that would lead you to Latin. Sorry, we're not very like. Oh, that still leads you to general.
We have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, sorry, we don't really use Discord that much, so we're not very familiar with Discord. You guys might like
I use
Discord.
Discord every day.
Use Discord every day. Well, very cool. I don't really use Discord sadly, so I do see someone sent a message. All right, let's do this at the end of class because I feel like we can figure this out later. All right, we got to get to the actual material. Make it a permanent link. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Alan, very much. Okay. We're gonna move on to actual Latin. All right, and we're also gonna do Roman culture and mythology. So hopefully you guys like that. I know that's pretty interesting. I personally love mythology. Okay.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about why you should take Latin or why it would be helpful to you. So the first reason is words in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Italian, other languages come from Latin. So like your knowledge of English, or like some of you might know one of the other languages that's there, that will help you with Latin. So like you see a lot of words that are derived from Latin, so it'll help you figure out like certain vocab terms and figure out the meaning. Latin is still used today in science, law, and medicine. So if you want to go into any of those fields in the future, then it'll help you a lot to like figure out vocab again. But even if you don't want to, Latin is still around us a lot. Like, if you think about AM and PM, does anyone know what those words stand for? Like, instead of 12 AM or 12 PM. No, okay, so AM stands for ante meridiem, and that's a Latin phrase. And ante means before, and meridiem means noon. So the phrase means before noon. And then PM, the P stands for post, so it stands for after. And then the last reason is it can help with reading classical English texts. So there's a lot of reasons to learn Latin, but most of all, I think it's a really fun language. Oh, Jiayi, you're muted.
Sorry, I don't know why I was muted. But yeah, so overall Latin is honestly super fun. As someone who's taken Latin for basically all throughout high school, definitely recommend it over all the other classes. Also, you don't have to speak Latin. You know that Latin is not a language you have to speak. So it's definitely a lot easier, in my opinion, than the other classes. Because all my friends who took Spanish or French, they all had to stress over speaking quizzes. I never had to do that because you don't speak in Latin. All right, any questions before we move on?
Not really.
Not really? Okay, yeah. This is just a why you should take Latin. All right, so does anyone know what this is?
Is it a map of all the countries that have
It's the Roman.
It's Rome.
Yeah, it is Rome. I mean, it kind of
Whoops.
says it up
I
there.
didn't see the letters.
Yeah, it is Rome.
Oh,
You're
the
right.
Roman Empire.
Yes,
Duh,
it's
it's
the Roman
Rome.
Empire. The Roman Empire. Yeah, it does literally just say that. But the Roman Empire it's no longer a thing today. It fell a long time ago, but the Roman Empire, you're right, it was a place where people spoke Latin. Latin was very common. That's where we're learning a lot of like Roman culture later on, because people of Rome spoke Latin. And in high school, if you learn about Latin, you'll learn about culture and mythology as part of your curriculum. Yes, it is Rome. And then
This is like Rome where it is today. It's the capital of Italy. If you go there, you can see like a lot of the famous structures the Roman built and used, like the Colosseum, the Temple of Saturn, and all the other things there.
Yeah, the Roman Empire has shrunk to this little capital in Italy. Just a little bit of background. All right, so this is like its origin. Does anyone know about the story? How Rome came to be?
Rome was started.
Yes. All right, a few of you guys know, which is good. We're gonna just give you the quick rundown, basically. So basically, it's about this guy named Aeneas who flees Rome during the Trojan War. He was a demigod. He was like the son of Aphrodite, and the gods basically said that he was gonna become the person who finds Rome. Yes, Dana.
I thought it was a story about Romulus and the other dude whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, same. Romulus and Remus.
We will
That's what we
get to-
read.
Yeah, we will get to Romulus and Remus, but this is like before Romulus and Remus, because Romulus and Remus has to like come from somewhere, right? So Aeneas was like the OG. Yes, does anyone else have a question? What is this? Okay. So he was like the first one. And then, sorry, let me. All right, so part 2. So he went through a lot of adventures, and he arrived at Italy. So here's the book. If you want to, you kind of have to read about him. But this is the Aeneid. It's basically a book that has all his adventures in it. If you're interested, you can buy it and read it. I had to read it. I think it was kind of interesting and it was pretty fun, but you don't have to read it. But this is just his adventures. So he got to Italy, right? And then now we're gonna talk now. So after he was like the father figure, and then after a few generations, a set of twins named Romulus and Remus were born, and they are the ones who officially make it Rome. But he was kind of like the first people before them. But I think a lot of you guys know of these people, right? Romulus and Remus, and like the story of the she-wolf. Yeah. Okay. And then eventually Romulus and Remus became the people who found Rome and named it Rome after Romulus. Oops. All right. A she-wolf.
A she-wolf is basically a female wolf.
Yeah, it's literally a she-wolf, like a female wolf.
Just how we call like female cats she-cats.
Yeah. It's a she-wolf because she essentially took over the mother figure for Romulus and Remus. All right, does anyone have any questions? Just ask if you do. All right. So this is just like a quick rundown of like how Rome came to be, because Rome is our central focus when it comes to Latin. All right, so here is our first vocab list. Joyce, do you want to go through with this?
Well, we're going to talk about them each on each slide, but this is just like the full list that we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about each one individually. And I feel like some of you guys can guess the meaning already.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Latin isn't that difficult. It's very similar to English.
You got all of them. Good job.
Wow. Why do the words end in AE? Very good. Well, we're going to talk about that. Don't worry. It's a very important, good catch. It is kind of important that they end in AE. Okay, well, they kind of already know.
Yeah, it seems like you guys already all know this.
Dang, all right.
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. Well, we're gonna go through these anyways.
Yeah, AE is plural. Well, actually, it's the way we do it here is to be singular, but genitive case.
Yes, it is plural.
It is plural.
Well, it could be plural, but it also could be genitive. We're gonna talk about that when we get to the grammar portion. All right, so
for those that don't know, it's aqua, aguai, or I don't know if anyone says it differently because we don't really speak Latin. So the meaning is water. All of these are noun and first declension feminine words, and then some derivatives, like to help you remember the word, are aquamarine, aquafine, and aqua.
and as you can see, it is first feminine, which we will talk about in more in depth and what that means. But it also, the endings, it ends in A and AE because it is first feminine. And again, we're going to get more into that maybe next class and some of it this class.
Yeah, so that's how you figure out what the question is.
And derivatives are basically just English words that come from it. So it's derived from Latin. So you guys all know what like aquamarine is, right? Or aqua.
Yes.
So Latin is very useful. You see, it helps you with a lot of English words if you don't.
I just wanted to say I have another way I remember the word aqua. I just use the movie Aquaman.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think it is Aquaman because he is like in charge of water and he can control water. Very good.
That's good.
All right, so femina, feminae. This one's easy too. It means woman. And it's a noun at first feminine. And the derivatives would be like female, feminine, things like that. This one's pretty straightforward because it looks almost exactly like the meaning. All right. No questions, we will move on. Can't you say it? Yeah, you can say the word by sounding it out, but there are certain words in Latin that you can't pronounce. Like there is no W. No, there's no V in Latin. I'm pretty sure. You pronounce it with a W sound.
Yeah, you see like the Latin words we're giving you, they're all English letters. So it's like,
yeah. So like, you know how salve, salve is spelled with a V. You wouldn't say salve, you would say salve because there's no V sound in Latin.
Yeah, Latin only has 23 letters, while our alphabet has 26.
All right. Insula, insulae. Means island. A lot of you guys got this one right.
Wait, I have a question. So, is there a correct way to pronounce it? Like insula, like the two words, is it supposed to be like insula or something, or insulae, or however you pronounce it? Like, is there a correct one?
Okay. Well, to be honest, not really, because you know how we said like there isn't sound, there's not certain words in Latin. But the thing is, like as we said before, you don't speak Latin really. Latin is a dead language. It's not spoken. You will never be tested on speaking Latin. Okay. So technically there really is, you can really say it however you want. I mean, I personally have never been one to focus on how to pronounce it. I'm sure there is like a correct way, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be correct.
I was never taught how to say these words either. I just kind of read it how I would read.
Yeah, just read it however you want, to be honest. Latin is more focused on like the grammar portion and how to translate sentences instead of like saying it. Because again, you're not going to ever meet a native Latin speaker. They just don't exist anymore. But that's a very good question. Anyone else? All right. Then puella, same thing, it means girl. This is a very common word, so be sure to remember this one.
Yeah, we couldn't find any derivatives for this one, so.
Yeah, again, all of these are nouns and they're all first feminine, which you'll learn more next week. People don't speak Latin because, I mean, it just kind of died out, you know? Because again, the people in the Roman Empire spoke Latin, but the Roman Empire fell like thousands of years ago. So
like Latin is an outdated language.
Yeah, very much. It's just outdated and really no one speaks it anymore. We still translate it, but people in Italy, they speak Italian. Yeah, so people in Italy speak Italian. Go ahead. If I unmuted you, you can speak.
If Latin is a dead language, then why do doctors still use it?
Well, doctors, they use Latin words and phrases because, again, like we've said before, plenty of Latin English words come from Latin. Not sure why they want that, but a lot of English words come from Latin. Also, I think it just sounds more fancy. Do you guys know what Harry Potter is?
Yeah, like the curses are like, oh.
Yeah, they're all Latin. I guess Latin just sounds cooler, but it's just not spoken anymore. But yes, a lot of medical terms are in Latin though. All right. Who else raised their hand? If you raise your hand, you can just speak because sometimes it's kind of hard for me to. All right, Dana, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, that's an old hand.
Oh, okay. All right, everyone else is good.
So vita, vitae, life. And yeah, so everything is the same, and derivatives are vitamin and vital.
Mm-hmm.
Help you remember the word.
Very cool. No questions. This is, again, I feel like vocab is pretty easy because, again, a lot of these words you can kind of just guess looking at them.
And a lot of you already got it before we started.
Yeah, you guys are clearly way smarter than us. All right. So in this class, other than Latin vocab, we're going to do Latin grammar. So Latin is language when syntax, which is like word order, doesn't really play that big of a role. So it's like what word goes first, you know, because it's like in English, I like the cat versus like the cat I like, that's kind of different. Or cat I like, it just doesn't really make sense, you know. It has to be like a specific like order. But in Latin, it really doesn't matter really what word. Mostly it focuses on number, case, and gender. So number is like singular or plural. Case, we're going to get into in a couple of slides. And gender is feminine or masculine. That's also a big thing in Latin that we don't have in English, is that they have feminine words and masculine words and neuter words. Yeah, so does Greek. Not too sure, but the thing we're focusing on in this class are declensions and conjugations. All right. I'm gonna explain more about what they are in the next few slides. So does anyone have any questions before we get into them? All right, I think we're good. Is anyone familiar with declensions and conjugations yet? No? Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is declensions. We're not going to give you like actual endings this week. We're going to do actual endings in practice next week. All right, because there's like a lot of different endings. So declensions are basically the endings of Latin nouns, pronoun, adjectives, and etc. And they determine the function of that word. Like they determine what the function of that word is of a sentence. So is it like the subject of the sentence or yes, AE, for example, you know how we saw like the AAE? That's first feminine declension. There are many ones we're going to do. So I think the ones we're going to do in our class is first feminine, second masculine, second neuter, and maybe if we get to third declensions, we're going to get to third declensions. But there are many declensions. I don't have it with me, but next class, if you want, I can show you like the declension chart. There's a ton of them. But they basically tell you what Latin nouns, pronouns, and adjectives are in the sentence. So it's like, if you see a word with a certain ending, you'll know that it's the subject of the sentence, or you'll know that it's the direct object of the sentence. All right, those of you who are just joining, you can look at this video will be like recorded. And if you go to the Alphademic's website, you'll be able to see everything that you missed. All right. Joyce, you want to add on to it?
I think you did good.
Does anyone have any questions about what declensions are and what they do?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about them more next class.
Yeah, I know this might sound a little confusing, but declensions are relatively easy. As long as you get the hang of it, you'll know how to do it.
So Latin declensions are kind of like an English ing at the end of the word.
Kind of, yeah. They kind of are, because like, here's the thing. In Latin, it's like, for example, like in English, the word order determines like, so like the girl throws the ball. The girl is the subject, right? And then the ball is the direct object. But in Latin, like you wouldn't know, like, is it the ball throws the girl? Like you wouldn't know which is which. So you'll know which is which by looking at the endings, because they have different endings for different like parts of a sentence. Because in Latin, it could be like flip-flop. It would be like the ball throws the girl. But when you look at the endings, you'll know it's the girl throws the ball.
Well, that's really confusing.
I know it does sound quite confusing, but trust me, it isn't. As long as you like, we're gonna do practices next week. All right, don't worry. This is just
like left to right, so you can just do it normally. It'll be
yeah. We're not gonna make it too confusing for you guys, but this is just like a heads up. But again, this week is just like an intro to like what we're learning and like definitions. Next week we're going to do practices with like how to translate things. And again, it might sound complicated now, but when you get into it, it's really fun and it's easy. All right, anyone have any questions? You good? Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't say like you who are instead of who are you in Latin. Like it's just because again, you don't speak Latin, you only read Latin. So in the word, if you like just directly translate it like throughout the sentence, it could be you who are. But when you look at the endings, you'll know it's who are you, or like you know which word goes first. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I know it's just a little confusing right now, but you'll understand it, hopefully. Okay, so here are the 5 different parts of declining. These are the cases. So there's nominative, which is the subject of the sentence. So each one has a different ending, and you'll know which is which when we tell you next week. All right, this week, I just want you guys to know the definition of things, okay? So if you see nominative, you know it's the subject of the sentence. Does everyone know what the parts of a sentence are? I feel like everyone should know what parts of a sentence is currently.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So I hope everyone knows what a subject is. All right, so nominative is the subject of the sentence. There is also vocative, but we're not going to learn vocative. We can in the end if you want, but we're not going to learn vocative. So nominative is the subject. Genitive is like the possession. So it's like of the girl, of the king, things like that, because it belongs to someone. It's possession. Dative is indirect object. Does everyone know what indirect object is? We do? Okay. So this would be like, if you translate it, it would be 2/for the girl or something like that. Something that is not related. Yeah, it's kind of like my mom baked cookies for the girl, or like, yeah, indirect is slightly harder in English, but in Latin, it's just you just put the words 2/for in front of the word to translate it. So it's quite simple. Accusative is direct object, which is like, everyone know what direct object is? Yeah, okay. And then ablative is object of the preposition. Does everyone know what prepositions are? Okay. So these are just like the basic parts of a sentence in Latin that you have to know. Oh, you don't know? Okay. So prepositions are just like phrases like under, above, into, like by, things like that. And then the object would be like by the girl, under the tree, things like that. That's how you would translate it. And there is also another case called vocative, which is like just command, like eat. sleep, but we're not going to learn that because that's kind of weird.
I don't think I learned until like Latin 3. Like we didn't really talk about it ever.
Yeah, this is just intro to Latin. We want you to know the basics of Latin. But I know this might seem like a lot at you right now, but trust me, when we learn like the charts next week, it'll be a lot simpler.
Yeah. So the same thing applies for every single noun chart. So once you learn it once, you're like good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, you're not supposed to know everything this week, so don't be like afraid that you're like confused. This week, again, is just to introduce you to the terms and what we're learning in the next few weeks. Is everyone good? No questions? Okay. So now we're going to do conjugations. Joyce, do you want to talk about conjugations?
Okay, yeah. So I think Jiayi did really good explaining what declensions are, and it's really similar, but instead of for nouns and stuff like that, it applies to verbs and adverbs. So it will tell you the person, like for first and second person, third person, number, which is singular, plural, and then what tense, like past tense, future tense, and the mood or voice of that word.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys know, everyone knows what verbs are, adverbs. No one's confused about anything written on the board, right? If you're confused, please just ask. All right, we have a lot of time and we want to answer your questions. All right, personally, I feel like conjugations are easier.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there are less of them. There's only
6.
Yeah.
Versus declensions where there are 10. Are we good? All right. So yeah, there are only 6 and there's 3. Do you guys know what first person, second person, third person are? We do? Okay. So first person would be like I or we. We is plural, I is singular. Second person is you or you all. Third person, he, she, it, or they. Pretty simple. These are just general, like, this is a part of English grammar as well. If you guys know this, it'll be a lot easier on you when you're learning English grammar, because you guys have, I feel like some of you guys are at the age where you guys have encountered grammar, right? Yeah, okay. Again, we're going to give you examples next week, and we're going to get more in depth next week. This week, again, just an intro. Any questions?
I was still copying down the previous slide. Can you go back?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
So yeah, declensions and conjugations. Just remember, those are the 2 parts of Latin that you need to know in order to translate a sentence, all right? So really all you need to know, just declensions and conjugations. If you know them, you can translate sentences, don't worry. All right, let me know if you're done copying. All right.
I'm done
So
copying.
can you post the PPT in the Discord group or the classroom?
To the slides?
Yeah, the slides.
Yeah, we will. After this class, we're gonna post everything on like the Google Classroom, and we're doing it on the Discord too. All right. Do you need to copy this slide down too? Or are we good to move on?
We can move on.
We're good. All right. All right, now we're gonna do mythology. Like this is the fun part for people.
I thought this was Greek mythology, not because
well,
I'm pretty sure like Hestia, Demeter, they're all the Greek version of the
Yeah.
Roman gods.
Yeah, I don't know who wrote these slides, but they should be Roman names. I think I wrote them. All right, yeah, my bad. They should be, okay, so Greek and Rome are pretty similar. The Romans took a lot of inspiration from the Greeks, and you're all correct. These are the Greek names. These are not the Roman names. So the Roman names would be, instead of Hestia, would be Vesta. Demeter would be, I don't know. Hades would be Neptune.
I like Hades' dog.
Hades is Pluto. Poseidon is Neptune.
Cerberus.
Zeus is
It's actually Saturn. Demeter is Saturn.
Saturn. Who's Pluto? Oh,
Pluto
Demeter?
is Hades is Pluto. Hades.
okay. All right. Don't worry, we'll change it next week. But yeah, so this is like the beginnings of Greek gods and goddesses.
Yeah, so Kronos overthrew his father, I think Uranus, and so he was basically leading the world, and then he had 6 children with his wife.
Okay. Yeah, Saturn is Cronus, you're right.
If Cronus didn't eat his children, then he would have never been chopped up into a million pieces.
Probably. But the thing is, so what happened was he only ate his children because he heard a rumor that his son or his children will overthrow him one day. But he was going to die regardless. He was just trying to prevent it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he did eat all his children. This way no one would overthrow him. Yes.
Bad choice. It's being a cannibal.
This is pretty easy, I feel like. I feel like this is stuff that most of you guys would know.
Why would he eat all of his children?
So then.
Yeah, so Rhea was really sad because, all her children were getting eaten. She was like, I want to save my son. So Zeus, her last born, she went to the island of Crete and she gave birth to Zeus there.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If you know Percy Jackson, you'll know most of these.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
And
yeah,
then,
I read Percy Jackson this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I reread it, like the Greek heroes thingy.
Yeah, Greek mythology is fun. So, since Rhea, her husband Kronos, knew that she was pregnant, she decided to trick him with the stone knocking clock. And like Kronos really wanted to eat all his children, so that's why he didn't notice that it was stone. He just ate it right away.
All right. Yeah, very good. And then.
So Zeus was raised by like nymphs on the island, and then when he grew up, he got this potion from, I think it was Oceanus, a Titan named Oceanus, and it basically, when he gave it to Kronos, and when his father drank it, it basically vomited all of his children up, all of his siblings up. And so he and his other 5 children, they went to Mount Olympus, and I don't like blanking out, but I think Zeus freed some Cyclopses from Tartarus, and then that's how they got like all their weapons, like Zeus's lightning bolt and Poseidon's trident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Trident.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, this isn't very realistic, obviously. People don't just eat your children.
So then they had this 10-year-long war, and eventually the gods won.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how it started.
Okay, so basically, why are we telling you mythology? Mythology is like a big part of Roman culture. It's like it impacts how they live and and like just how they view society. And it also explains how the world works, because like they believe like they believe that like Rhea was like, no, Gaia or something was like the earth. Like it answers them like questions. It's like it was their religion. It's just how they believe the world came to be. So we want to like tell you these fun stories so you can see how like it impacts their culture and their daily lives. All right. Also, if you guys want to learn specific things, you guys can just tell us in the Discord or like in the Google Classroom, because there are so many different stories and it would be impossible to get through like all of them. So if there's like a specific story that you're interested in and you want us to like teach you guys, just like tell us. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So conclusion, right? This is like the conclusion of what we learned today.
We're done with everything for today, basically.
Today was just like a quick thing. Next week, you guys will be more participation. Okay, you guys will participate more. Do you guys know how to use Peer Deck?
Yes.
Peer Deck? No. Okay.
We're gonna try to use this so you guys can like all answer questions.
Okay, yeah. Because like it's kind of hard because there's a lot of you guys in this class. So we're gonna do Peer Deck, so that's way you can be more interactive, and it'll be so then you'll like understand the concepts more. Okay. Kahoot. Okay. We want to do Kahoot, but the issue is there is so many of you guys in this class, so it's a little bit difficult.
I think
Well, my teacher makes us cahoots when there are like 26 people in my class.
Okay.
we tried to play to like get a bigger group.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna try because the thing is like we love doing cahoots. Like we've taught Latin classes before and we like love cahoots. We play a lot of Kahoot. But the issue is like you need premium to play with like a bigger class. But we're trying to figure it. Does anyone know
What
any
about book it?
Maybe you could put the classes for
You could
to
sign up for book it. Yeah, you can do
Um,
book it. Really, yeah,
hello?
book it is really fun.
What
Yeah,
it-
book it probably can hold unlimited people.
What
Yeah,
is-
book it can hold like a lot of people.
quizzes? Can you guys type it in the chat what you're saying so I can like write it down?
The 5 new Latin words were like in the slides. I think they were like life, girl. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll look into it because usually we have like review games at the end of each class. We're not gonna have one today, but next class we're gonna do review games. All right. We're gonna try our best to do review games.
Yeah. If you have any more ideas, like please tell us.
Yeah. If you have any ideas, I'll look into book it for you guys. But yeah, we want to do games because we think games are fun and they're a fun way to like have everyone to like interact with each other.
Look at it can only hold up to 60 people.
60,
and,
I think 60. I think we can fit 60 for sure.
and then Kahoot can fit 100 people.
100.
I think we'll have to pay for that though, because like we tried it once and didn't work.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. We're gonna try our best to play games. All right, because we want to play games with you guys because that's very fun. All right. So this is just like an overview of what we learned today.
Okay.
Everything will be posted in the Google Classroom. All right. It's gonna be posted in the Google Classroom. Okay. And it will be posted in the Discord if you guys want to use it.
Okay.
All right. So here is like the homework, but it's not really homework. It's just to look over everything. All right. So review the words, review what declensions and conjugations are. And next class, we're going to do a little quiz. So it might be like a Kahoot quiz or it might be like a fun quiz. All right. So study.
Do it as a poll, but like if you guys know any platform for quizzes, we can do like online. Please tell us.
Yeah. So study because we're going to have a little fun quiz. It's not going to be a grade because I mean, it doesn't really matter. And you don't have to study, you know, it's a summer class. But if you do study, maybe you can win, you know, hopefully that review game.
Here are just some suggestions for the games, but my personal favorites would be vocabulary jam and book it.
Okay, vocabulary jam.
Thank you. We'll write all down.
Yes, we very much appreciate it. Quizzes. Quizzes. Okay, I'll look.
I like Kahoot.
You like Kahoot? Yeah, I mean Kahoot is the easiest and it's fun.
Kahoot gets boring after you do it over and over again.
Yeah, it is a little.
Oh, write down games.
Look at there are a variety of like games to
Kahoot
choose
is not
from.
that boring.
I think I've used GameKit before. I actually liked it.
We'll look into it. I promise. We're gonna do games tomorrow, next week. All right. Promise. We're gonna do that.
Yeah. So the class will hopefully be interactive for everyone.
Yeah. So I think we are. Let me stop recording. Give me a second.